First carry for DeAndre Swift. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. This Washington defense, Charles, terrific in the victory a week ago.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. Step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. Man open. Here is Jones. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
3rd and 2. Now Ryan. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed him to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Throwing, Heineke. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. When the guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Heineke to throw it. He's going deep for Brown. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And taken right at the 35. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On 2nd and 7, Heineke taking a shot for Samuel. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And the Falcons are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 13. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. How about Jonathan Allen there pushing upfield to make the stop behind the line. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Three 0 after 1 on EA Sports. Running the sweep with McLaurin. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble, and the Falcons grab it. Well, this jet sweep is so popular now in football, but Charles, here's the downside, a turnover.
Yeah, because you want so badly to get the ball in the hands of your receivers, let him try and create something. I think that when he took the handoff, he was thinking something big. Instead, he didn't feel the pressure, and the ball came free.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Ryan. And that is incomplete here.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return. As we've seen, their first 2 drives didn't yield anything points-wise. Certainly feels like they think to themselves, it's time to open this thing up, taking the big shot downfield.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
Room to run past midfield. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. A handoff for Gibson. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
On 3rd down, here's Gibson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 17 yards that time and a Washington first.
How about his performance last week? Over 200 yards. I think his decisiveness, one cut and he goes, that's what's really made him pile up the yardage.
And the yardage he piled up last week, easily honored with NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
I would have voted for him.
A run here for J.D. McKissic. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And they'll try to throw now. Heineke. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. Gibson. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And Washington has taken the lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. He's at the 40. The 20. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Falcons.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they move the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
He fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it. You're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone. And that's exactly why he did.
And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. This offense, thankful, I'm sure, to have the football back, but also, Charles, after a long drive of their own, they've got to be a little weary.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and what you have to do to combat it, try and get fresh legs in where you can, especially to skill positions. And then for the offensive line, instead of attacking, maybe slow the tempo down a little bit, let them catch their breath. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run here with Gibson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 69 yards rushing for him, as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Antonio Gibson is an absolute dart with the ball in his hands, and he can make you miss, and he can run over you. Took a little while to crack the starting lineup as a rookie, but boy, was he sensational when he did. Went for 115 yards and 3 scores in a Thanksgiving Day clobbering of the Dallas Cowboys. And Washington, they feel like they had a real find when they took him in the 3rd round last year, number 66 overall, and he justified their decision. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL. The best multitasker in the business, the coach. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, Heineke. And that would almost intercept him. But it's incomplete. He had space in front of him if he had held on, but instead it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now Heineke. And that is incomplete. It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully. Here's Tressway now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. Well, not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. And instead, they want to throw it off play action. And now he's going to go down in the end zone. Down goes Matt Ryan, and that's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Ooh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Heinicke now from the 50. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And Washington has retaken the lead. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And that'll make this a 6-point game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40.
For a quick second there, I thought we were about to have a repeat performance of a kickoff return for a touchdown. This guy's on fire today.
They go play action with Ryan. Looking downfield for Jones. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call, but they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
2nd and 10 now. Ryan. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now Ryan. Right back to Pitts again. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Final play of the half It's Ryan. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And yet again, Ryan is intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will... Start here at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Washington. But he's been doing this for a lot of years. The arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And to put a bow on it, Next Gen Stats saying that traveled an even 66 yards in the air. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
A quick throw complete to Chark. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play cornerback in this league, and he does a terrific job there of hustling in quickly to make the play. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Disaster there, resulting in a loss of 7 on third down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. A strong running. It's a 40-yard punt, but they lose yardage on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. It's a first down and more for Gibson. Past the 20. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And Washington going to add on to their lead. And that is off the left upright. It's no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip.
On first down, it's Rosen. He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
He'll take a shot for the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
On second down, Swift. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Boy, and now they can't even get a playoff. And the delay of game penalty makes this much more difficult. 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And that will be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
They're going on 4th down. Rosen. And Shark hauls it in. Touchdown, Falcons. DJ Chark, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Falcons' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Rosen, he's going to look to throw for it. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. The 40, 20, 10, and he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way.
Well, there's some excitement, right? Go for two, and instead it gets picked off. And how about the return? Give them a lot of credit, though, for not giving up after the play.
Yeah, the troops rallied.
Exactly, and getting back there and making the tackle and not giving up 2 points themselves.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They'll go again with Gibson. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 3rd down, Heineke taking a shot for Samuel. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On play action, Rosen. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard line. A little careless with a football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Now Brown, he lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Following the fumble recovery, it's Rosen. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Rosen here down around his own goal line. That is incomplete.
You definitely would like to have hit on that one because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
The Falcons on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. And now it's Rosen looking. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. He's got a man complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he gets it up to the 46. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Here's Rosen to throw. Pressure comes, and down goes Rosen. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number It's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback. Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down. Shark's got it left side. He's got the first down inside the 10. Touchdown! DJ Chark, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Falcons cut into that lead. So a big play coming for the Falcons as they'll go for two. They'll try and throw for it. Flush to his right. And they're going to get the two. It's caught. So they get the conversion. And now we're back to a one-score game. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. One-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
On second down, here's Gibson again. 158 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play.
Up second and 7 at the 39-yard line.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Well, the defense got its job done, forcing the punt. Now the formula pretty simple. They need to find the end zone here. A field goal. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a one-score game. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Rosen on 1st and 10. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Here's Rosen. Able to hook up here with Ridley. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go. It's Rosen on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. They'll run on 1st down. Gibson. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Gibson again. They follow up the 1st down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just 70 seconds left to go in the game. Heineke. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will bump the lead up to 11. So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss, because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in pull? And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Landon Collins. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
So it's Washington getting the victory here, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is, in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Washington, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll return home next week to take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they also will exit this one at 2-2. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets.